Hey guys, Opal here and welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a speed build in the Forest of Valor floating island, and it's kind of silly because I really wanted to do my jungle here. I could have done it on the sunlit, but I just like how green this grass is, and I feel like this gives a little bit more jungle vibes to me personally. I wanted to use a couple of houses. I really wanted to add the Lion King in here, but honestly this build was so big I didn't actually get around to doing like a full Lion King area. Majority of this build is like camping sites and markets and things like that. It's got, yeah, just a lot of jungle vibes. I would love to do another build and kind of focus on the Lion King more than just like camping, I guess. But anyways, this middle piece was probably my favorite part of the build. I did this like, I don't even know what it's from. I think it's from not Tangled, Brave, that stone thing, and I put loads and loads of foliage in the middle. Right now I'm kind of just placing some random items and trying to get a feel for what I was going to do in this space. This build, it took a couple of hours to do. I would say 2 to 3 hours. It was over 2 days of working on this, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I haven't done a jungle build in a very long time, so honestly I was a little bit rusty. I feel like jungle builds just take a little bit longer because it's just lots of placing foliage and kind of making everything feel very cluttered. But yeah, this is basically the main pathing here. I grabbed out a bunch of foliage and I use all of this foliage throughout the whole build. I like to grab out my foliage first and kind of just duplicate it because it makes it a lot easier and a lot faster too. Kind of like a color palette, but like a foliage palette, I call it. This bit was really fun to do though. I just made sure that like basically everything was covered on the inside. I just really wanted to feel very like lush and full, and I feel like it does. This is such a gorgeous centerpiece, and I think I'm gonna do this for other parts of my valley, not just kind of jungle builds, because I feel like this would be really cute with other sort of foliage inside too. The next thing I started working on was trying to make the path around it feel a lot more like circle and a lot less jagged. It does look really funny just having these stone pathway things all like boxy, especially when you're trying to create a jungle core kind of build. So yeah, I just really blocked in the pathing here and made it feel a lot more neat. When I was designing this build, I had the thought in my head to do more like a pirate sort of theme, and I kind of went with that in spots, but not really the whole build. I really wanted to incorporate the boat, what is it? The ship from, oh my goodness, I cannot remember where it's from, but it's down the bottom of the screen there. I really wanted to incorporate that into the build and like really flesh it out, but again, I thought I had a lot of space in this island, but just everything took up a lot of space and a lot of time. I'm finding with the islands that by the time I'm like maybe just a quarter done, I get really tired and feel like I'm never going to complete it, and yeah, it's really daunting honestly to decorate full islands like this. I did play around with those gazebos because I felt like it could look really cute, especially with the vines over, but I thought it felt a little bit too like elegant for the space. I also started using some stones to kind of block in the pathing too. I really didn't want to enclose it though because I really wanted it to be walkable. This little area is probably like the only little piratey kind of area, but I really do love how it looks. I just have this little lost and found stall, and I just put some market like tables, and I end up putting some like time bending items that look quite piratey and like lost and found like. I feel like it just really suits this little space really well. This jungle build has really made me want to redo my sunlit. I'm saying redo, but it's actually torn down at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to do like a Lion King sort of build, but it's making me want to do like more like pirate kind of theme. Since I kind of went full out with kind of camping on this island with a little bit of mixture of like a little bit of Lion King, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But yeah. For some of the edges too, I decided to go with some of these like little rocky, even know what to call them, little bricks. I think they look really cute and like super messy. It gives kind of like abandoned vibes, which I really, really love. And yeah, I'm just basically going through all of my items and just placing down a couple items that I think are going to look cute. By this point, I was still kind of trying to figure out what I was even doing. And like what items would work. Sometimes I feel like when I haven't done a build style in so long, I really forget like what kind of items are good to use in them, because I'm not really looking for these sorts of items in regular builds. I do love the little mossy fences though. I think they look super cute in this build, and it's so cool that they're so versatile. I've used them in so many different builds, from fairy core to little towns to my big town that I did, well, my big city, and now this like jungle core build. So it's super cool that we have like these amazing versatile items. It's probably one of my favorite items at the moment to use. For this area here, I really wanted to cover in a lot of the space because this island is super huge, so I placed down some markets on this side, and then I also placed down these like big rock clusters, and these are one of my favorite big items to use, those big like wild tangle rocks. I think they're so beautiful. I love the color on them, I love the shape, and I tend to use them a lot for like jungle builds. For this back area here, this is my camping area, the seaside. I don't know what that house skin's called, but I'm using it as sort of like a resort area, like kind of where you can check in. And then on either side, I have two different camping areas, both decorated slightly different from each other. This smaller one on the right hand side, it has like a waterfall feature that I made, and it's quite like a bit smaller, a bit more cluttered. And then the other one on the left is way more open, and it's got a little picnic area in the middle, and that's kind of like the centerpiece of this area. I didn't really want to over clutter this space because we have so much foliage everywhere else, so I wanted to keep these areas quite open and a little bit more natural and not too overgrown. And I like that I did that, because sometimes I feel like in my builds they can be super hard to navigate and walk around, and also just too cluttered, so there's like no sunlight in my build sometimes. But yeah, I love how this one turned out. It's really cute. Right now, I'm kind of just going in with like these big trees because I'm trying to block out the corners of the build. I didn't use that top right corner and the bottom left corner. I kind of have a little bit of wasted space because I didn't really know what to do in those corners, so I just left them kind of open but blocked off. Now I'm going in and trying to do this like waterfall feature that I really wanted to do to kind of like block the end of the biome, because I didn't really want to see it, and I wanted it to feel like very enclosed and like secluded. I also love this little Kristoff sleigh. I really want to incorporate that into this build. This is looking quite weird, and I started thinking that as I was building it, so I ended up deleting it and going with, I think I just went with two little waterfalls, and it's a lot smaller but it's a lot cuter. Yeah, this here. And then put some trees on the sides and lots of foliage, and I think it looks cute. It's a lot better this way, I think. Just a little bit smaller and maybe more natural. I also hadn't done a camping area in a very long time, so I was super like confused on items to use. I was trying to find like good camping kind of items, like little tables, but like small ones, and then you know, the cooking campfire thing. I couldn't find any of those items, so I kind of made do with some of the items that I had on hand, like the sled and picnic blanket. But yeah, it's more like camping vibes from all the foliage and the tents rather than like campsites. Over here, I was trying to do a similar thing with the waterfalls, but it wasn't really working how I wanted it to work because of the rotation and the gaps between the waterfalls, so I ended up deleting it, but I really did want to make it work. I ended up just putting a little tree cluster behind there, and then it kind of filled in this area with a little bit of foliage, but trying to keep it open. My original plan was to have like a little nook at the back there. You see where those like gold heaped thing is, and have like another little pirate area there. But yeah, this build was taking hours and I never got around to it. But I would love to do a little area back there anyway, just for myself. I think that would be a fun little build to do later down the line. But yeah, this area I kind of made look abandoned. I had some like pots and stuff like that in here. I think it looks really cute by the end. I really love it. For the other side, however, I didn't like it as much, but I kind of did some work after this little section here right at the end of the video and did some extra little tweaks to this left area. I do still like it. I just feel like I could have added a little bit more accessories to make it more camp-like while I was doing it, but I was just having a little bit of a hard time thinking about what would look good here and trying not to over clutter it like I tend to do sometimes. I do really love these cactuses with the little red or orangey tips though. I think they look really cute and they're quite big too, so they fill up quite a bit of space. I tried to use those around quite sparingly, but they're in like all the little areas of this build, and I love how they look when you're just walking around. I think they're super cozy and cute. I really wanted to mix meadow grass and also the beach grass in this build. Not the tall beach grass though, because I thought it kind of filled in the space a little bit too much. This is where I really wanted the ship to go, but I wanted to build it out a little bit more. I just didn't get around to it. But yeah, now we're going to be working on the market area, and this is quite cute. I didn't go like my traditional market, like fully fleshed out and like loads of items on the table and super cluttered. I didn't do that. I really want to have it really open, just a small little market area in the back. Stitch's truck, and this also leads on to the Lion King home, even though it's not really decorated for like the Lion King characters as such. It's more just like me using their house as a nice rock, but anyways, it's fine. I also had that previous little farm there from a previous build. I decided to keep it and just try and work with it because I really wanted a farm in this build, but I was too lazy to like redo one in a better spot. But I think that one's perfect, so I just kept it. Overall, this is kind of the layout for the market area, and I did just squeeze the fountain, the well, like right in the corner in the back. You cannot see it from the market area, which is really nice, but it's also really close and not completely like closed off. I did put like a nice little rock pathway to it, and it's not decorated in there, but it doesn't really need to be because it's so small. Then I just went in with lots of little decorating items, like some crates and lots of little, rustic kind of items. I did cut a lot of the decorating out because this video is already very long, but this is the final result of everything we did. I'm also going to be walking around and there'll be a lot of things that weren't in the speed build, but they're just mostly little extra decorations that I didn't add in the main video because it takes me so long to do the little extra decorations. But this is the Lost and Found gift shop. I absolutely love it. I think it's super cute. This is the little market area. It's very open, which I love. It's super maneuverable. Hopefully that's a word. And yeah, just lots of little knickknacks and things on the tables, but not as fleshed out as some of my other markets have been. But I think I like the vibe of that a little bit better. It feels a lot more like clean. Well, I should not say clean because it's a literal jungle, but clean because I feel like it has to be clean because it's a jungle build. I didn't want it to feel too messy. But anyways, this is the little camping area. This is my favorite side personally. I just like how it looks abandoned, and you've got the black and the green tents, and I think these are my two favorite tents, so maybe that's why I like it a little bit better. But then on the other side, I have this little area which is a lot more spread out, so yeah, it does feel a little bit weird to me. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just me. I did try and add some extra things in there, but it still felt too empty for me. But yeah, this is some overview shots of the build. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. I'm sorry I'm a little bit rusty on my jungle decorating, but I'm going to try and do another jungle kind of decor speed build or build on live stream in the near future, because I feel like this was a tester and my next one's going to be really good. But yeah, anyways, bye bye. Hope you have a really good rest of your day.